Today on All Things 80s, I lied. I have read some Star Wars books. Welcome back to All Things 80s. Now, yesterday I filmed a video asking the question, am I really a Star Wars fan? And in that video I stated that I had never read a Star Wars book or comic. After uploading the video, it occurred to me that I told you a massive lie because I do have some Star Wars books in my possession. Now, this time last year I was back in Scotland clearing out my parents' house, and I had kept a lot of things from my childhood in that house, and amongst those things were the Star Wars books that I of course had to bring back to America with me. Now, I can honestly say I've not read them all because I was never much of a reader. I was always playing outdoors and stuff and BMXing. I was never one to sort of stay home and read too much. But the first Star Wars book I got was this one. It's The Mystery of the Rebellious Robot. And this was a terrible book, if I'm being absolutely honest. I think I got this by way of the sort of school book club type thing where maybe twice a year the teachers would give us this little pamphlet with book titles, and we could take it home with us and give it to our parents, and they would tick off what books they wanted to buy for us, and we'd go back to school with the order form and the cash to give to the teacher, and maybe a month or two later the books would get delivered to school. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, this is going to be a great book, you know, with the Millennium Falcon on the cover. Turns out it was an absolute letdown. Terrible, terrible story. There's no lightsabers, there's no blasters. Truly awful. I did read that one. This one is the read-along book for Star Wars that came with a cassette tape. And when I first looked at this today, oh, excuse me, I thought to myself, I guess I must have got this one before seeing any of the movies, but the back cover shows you other titles in the range, and of course it does have Empire, Return of the Jedi, and some Ewok and Droid, and a Wookiee story. So obviously when I got hold of this was well into, I guess, 83. I remember enjoying this. I remember on the cassette tape R2 used to beep when you had to turn the page. So this is one that I definitely did read as well. This one, Star Wars Return of the Jedi, the storybook based on the film. I don't think I actually read the words to this. I just looked at the pictures. But from flicking through it earlier today, I have one question to ask, and I hope you can help me with this. On page 9, I think it says, good Lord, my eyesight is terrible. My glasses are over there, but anyway. Whatever. I'm going to put it up on the screen right now. It's a shot from Jabba's palace, and back then as a kid I had no idea who that was in the middle, and I still don't know who that is. So if anyone can help me, please comment and tell me who the hell that is between those two Gamorrean guards. Now finally, I got a couple of Star Wars annuals. Now, the first one is just called Star Wars Annual, and it's a Marvel publication. And this one contains 3 comic book stories. So maybe those of you that are into the comic books might be able to tell me, were these released as standalone, you know, paper comics? The first one is called Droid World. The second one is called Death Probe. And finally, there's a story called... Actually, I skipped one there. The middle story. So the last story is Death Probe. The middle story is called The Third Law. I don't really remember ever reading these. And again, these don't look particularly interesting to me, if I'm being absolutely honest. But despite having these in my possession for almost 40 years, or maybe it is 40 years, I don't ever recall reading this one. And finally, I got the Return of the Jedi Annual. Now this one I'd never read either. This is actually the the Return of the Jedi in comic book form. And again, just from giving it a quick flick through earlier today, there's one thing that struck me. So the scene where Luke has been, or I was going to say captured, but he let himself be captured on the Death Star, and he's handed over to Darth Vader, and Vader is past Luke's green lightsaber, which he ignites and says, "Oh, you've constructed a new lightsaber." Well, in this comic book version, when Vader ignites Luke's lightsaber, the blade is red. What is that all about? But as I'd seen the movie by the time I got this annual, and I also had the storybook with nice photographs from the movie, I never actually read this one either. So I guess I was sort of telling the truth to a certain extent, or from a certain point of view, what I said was true, that I hadn't really read any Star Wars comics, and I'd only read a couple of books. But these are not novels or new stories, so I guess when I said in that video yesterday that I'd never read a comic or a Star Wars book, it was kind of true. But I thought I'd just give you a little honest update there, because clearly I was not really thinking straight when I said I'd never read a comic or a book. But anyway, those were my childhood Star Wars books. And if anyone out there had similar books to these, let me know in the comments. Tell me if you enjoyed them, and tell me if I should read the Star Wars annual with those 3 standalone stories. So anyway, thank you for watching. Special thanks to the Patreons who support the channel. Please like, please subscribe, and as always, stay tuned for more videos from All Things 80s.